tight.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shocking facts about sitcoms.
What's your point?
There's no point, I just think it's a good idea for a t-shirt.
For this list, we're looking at some things you might not have known about your favorite situation comedies. From casting choices to behind-the-scenes goings-on, these facts are sure to shock, inform, and entertain. Which of these sitcom facts surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments. Number 10. Luke Dunphy versus Nolan Gould. Modern Family. While Alex may be the smartest member of the Dunphy family, when it comes to IRL, Ariel Winter's smarts take a backseat to those of her on-screen brother. That's right, Luke Dunphy is really smart. Well, maybe Luke isn't, but Nolan Gould, who played Luke, sure is.
They always expect me to be like my character, who's not very bright. So we're always talking, and they always expect me to, not be very smart. They talk slow. Do you understand me?
Nolan is a member of Mensa, and as he told Ellen, has an IQ of 150. And unlike his character on the show, who barely made it out of high school and was the proud recipient of numerous college rejections,
Come on, NY! Notra! Damn.
Gould was getting his GED and graduating from high school at 13 and was accepted into USC a few years later.
And we discuss about nuclear fusion in our microwaves and, string theory and Schrodinger's cat and all these different scientific things.
Number 9. New Girl cast got a 7th season. New Girl. Not every show gets to end the way it wants to, often getting canceled before they can wrap up the way they intended.
So I've got it all planned out. I'm gonna surprise Nick at his book reading, and afterwards, when he's on a big high, I'm gonna tell him how I feel.
New Girl, however, was lucky in that the show was able to go out on its own accord. But it turns out that wasn't always guaranteed. There was a chance that season 6 was going to be the show's last.
Oh, come on, please go faster. I gotta tell my best friend I'm in love with her.
Shower first. I never seen anyone sweat so much.
And sure, the Nick and Jess elevator scene kiss would have made for an acceptable ending. It wasn't, as actor Jake Johnson said in his letter to the Fox chair people, the quote, right way. Yes, the cast members actually wrote letters to the Fox brass asking for one more season to do it right. They got it, and fans got a great goodbye. Number 8. We almost saw Maris. Frasier. Fans of Cheers will remember Vera as Norm's often talked about but practically never seen wife.
Vera has been phoning every 15 minutes here.
So what's this for?
Well, I told her you'd call the second you got in.
Well, you lied.
And being a spin-off of Cheers, the creators of Frasier liked the idea of providing a little nod to their predecessor, with an unseen character of their own in the form of Niles' wife Maris.
I like her from a distance. The way you like the sun. Maris is like the sun, except without the warmth.
Now, initially the plan was to play the game for a few episodes and then reveal her to the audience. But they ran into a problem. By the time they planned to reveal her, there had already been so many jokes about her demeanor and ridiculously waif-like appearance that there was no way they could find a real person who looked as they'd been describing her. So, she became the show's Vera permanently.
Thin. Make that very thin. Caucasian. Very Caucasian.
Number 7. The $0 Pilot. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The development of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia began as a short film idea by Glenn Howerton and Rob McElhenney.
That's not gonna work. You can't just do that. Well, what do you want to do?
The two of them and Charlie Day had all become friends as struggling actors, and using the short film as a jumping-off point, the three of them grabbed their own cameras and filmed a pilot in their apartments called It's Always Sunny on TV.
She gets to punch you in the face.
What?
Right in the face.
Why?
The Christmas party.
How about that game against Dallas, when Santa came out at halftime and we threw batteries?
While that pilot got the show sold, the only parts of it that made the FX show are some shots in the opening credits. The lore of that original pilot is that the guys shot it for $200. However, according to Day, that's actually an exaggeration because they shot it for nothing. Quote, I don't know where this $200 came from.
You see, I'm in it for the lifestyle as well as the great investment.
Number 6. Lisa Kudrow learned guitar for the show. Friends. We're not sure what David Schwimmer's experience on the keyboard was before he became Ross, but we do know that Lisa Kudrow could not play the guitar before she became Phoebe.
Now, I don't know the actual names of the chords, but I made up names for the way my hand looks while I'm doing them.
Kudrow got the part, and then went and learned how to play the guitar, or at least some basic chords.
Did you even study at all last night?
Yes, I did.
Then do Iceberg.
G sharp.
G sharp.
And although she was able to pull off the musician thing on the show, it turns out Kudrow never really enjoyed it.
Little tiny Tarzan swinging on a nose hair, swinging with the greatest of ease.
In fact, after the show ended, so did her guitar playing. In order to play Smelly Cat on the reunion show, she had to Google the chords to remember how to play it. We think it goes bear claw, turkey leg, bear claw, old lady.
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? Smelly cat, it's not your fault.
Too much.
Number 5, the first gay character, All in the Family. In 1997, when Ellen leaned over that airport loudspeaker and announced that she was gay, it was a big moment in sitcom and television history.
Susan, I'm gay.
But she wasn't the first gay character on a sitcom. Her coming out followed a line of trailblazing shows and characters going back decades, and beginning with Steve.
You don't have to go to no movies to see your wonders, huh, Steve? I mean, you bachelors? You got them coming and going like running water, huh?
Whatever you say, Art.
Steve was a former college football star and bachelor friend of All in the Family's lovable bigot, Archie Bunker. While the series is mostly remembered for Archie's cringe-worthy takes on race, many forget that the show, in only its 5th episode, introduced the audience to the first ever openly gay character on a sitcom.
How long you known me? 10, 12 years?
Yeah.
In all that time, did I ever mention a woman?
Number 4, Sheldon might have been Barney, How I Met Your Mother. We know that Sheldon Cooper believes in the many worlds theory.
While I subscribe to the many worlds theory, which posits the existence of an infinite number of Sheldons and an infinite number of universes, I assure you that none of them am I dancing.
And while he may not be dancing in any of them, there might be one out there in which How I Met Your Mother looks quite different.
Hey, you want to do something tonight? Okay, meet me at the bar in 15 minutes, and suit up!
In fact, it could have right here in our world, had Jim Parsons landed the role of Barney Stinson, for which he auditioned prior to Neil Patrick Harris being cast. And that's just one part of what could have been. It turns out that Jennifer Love Hewitt was offered the role of Robin Scherbatsky, but turned it down to do Ghost Whisperer. And that is no wait for it, Zinga.
Bazinga!
Number 3, the Carlton dance inspiration, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. While Friends fans are familiar with Courtney Cox's impressive moves via the routine, what they might not know is her influence on an even more iconic pop culture dance move of the 90s.
It's not unusual to be loved.
Although for this, we need to go all the way back to the mid-80s and Cox's now famous appearance in Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark music video.
I get up in the evening, and I ain't got nothing to say.
Pulled up on stage by the boss, Cox busts out an awkward arm-swinging move that would later inspire the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's Alfonso Ribeiro when coming up with his signature swing.
But when I see you hanging about with anyone.
According to Ribeiro, he took Cox's dance and Eddie Murphy's White Man dance and brought them together to create the Carlton. Number 2, no hugging, no learning, Seinfeld. Do you remember that very special episode of Seinfeld? The one where the characters took on an important issue and learned a valuable lesson? You know why you don't remember it? Because it never happened.
Why don't they make them anymore?
And that was very much on purpose. In fact, series co-creator Larry David had one very important rule for the writers to follow. No hugging, no learning.
So let me just explain.
Just take the episode where George's fiancée dies. Normally, this would be a perfect moment for a good cry and a group hug, but not on Seinfeld.
How did it happen? Apparently the glue in the wedding invitations was toxic.
Well, that's weird.
Then there's the series finale that finds the gang sent to prison. A perfect moment for them to learn a lesson? Not on Seinfeld.
If I called Jill from prison, you think that would make up for the other ones?
Sure.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. I Love Lucy start to finish. I Love Lucy. While a multi-camera setup for sitcoms filmed in front of a live studio audience has been common practice for decades now, it wasn't the norm in 1951 when I Love Lucy hit the airwaves. In fact, while Amos and Andy used a multi-camera setup months before I Love Lucy implemented it, the latter was the first to use 35mm cameras and do so in front of a live studio audience.
And on second glance, I think I'll try someplace else.
Using this innovative setup and plenty of rehearsals, I Love Lucy episodes were filmed in chronological order with minimal time between scene changes. In general, it took no longer than 60 minutes to film a full 23 to 26-minute episode. A much more efficient technique than Lucy and Ethel at the candy factory.
Listen, Ethel, I think we're fighting a losing game.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.